With so many new traders joining the industry recently, I keep getting asked the same question. What are prop firms? How do they work? And are they a scam? So how do prop firms work? Well, you pay a fee to take on an evaluation. And in that evaluation, you are essentially proving that you are able to trade profitably over normally a number of days, between 1 and 5 days, and effectively manage risk. And if you pass that evaluation, what do you get back in return? You get a performance account. And in that performance account, you are able to trade for real profits, normally between an 80 and a 90% profit share split in your favor. Sounds simple, right? But each firm has their own set of rules for both the evaluation account and the performance account. And if you get there, the live account as well. And understanding those rules for that firm you're trading with and the nuances with them is absolutely vital for your success in the market. Something we're going to get into a little bit later. How do the prop firms work? How do they stay afloat? How do they make money? This is something I hear all the time from traders. It's really simple. Most traders fail. Over 90% of traders fail. Most don't stick around past the first year. So with that in mind, let's think about their business model. The average fee for an evaluation account ranges between $35 and $250. And like we said, most traders fail. Not only do most traders fail, most traders love a bit of a gamble, a bit of a flutter in the market, and they see these evaluation accounts as not very much money to do so. Often burning through hundreds of accounts a year, and in some cases, thousands of accounts a year, as some of you may have seen recently on social media. So if you start doing the maths now and you multiply that failing trader, you multiply the average cost of account by the amount of evaluation accounts they're burning through a year, and then you times that by the size of the market space. Tens, hundreds of thousands of traders trading these evaluation accounts. You can see why these prop firms are making so much money. They are making so much profit off losing traders. That's exactly where their money comes. 99% of the income to these firms is coming from losing traders. And it's those losing traders that are paying those winning traders who are taking money out the market month after month from the performance accounts and from the live accounts. So it's your job to be one of the traders which is profitable. It's your job not to burn through lots and lots of evaluation accounts. You want to turn that evaluation account into a performance account. And you want to be profitable in that performance account, sticking to the rules and starting to take money out the market. And that's when you're going to start to get paid from these prop firms. So let's talk about these performance accounts and how these work, because this is also a very common question I get from newer traders entering the market space. Once you pass your evaluation and you move into that performance account, you are still trading sim. This is something many people don't understand. Let's say you pass that 50K evaluation account and you move into the performance account. Normally you have between $2,500 and $3,000 of drawdown. All right, that's the amount you're able to lose. That's the maximum loss you are going to be able to take on that account. But it's not real money. All right, you are still in a sim funded stage. You're not trading real accounts. You will never see your order on the live market, on the DOM, on the level 2. It's not appearing there because it's not a real order. The benefits of that are you get sim market fills. It's much easier to get filled in a simulated environment. And the other benefits of that to the prop firm is they're not actually putting up real capital at risk. So for you, it's very low cost to get into the market. All right, you're still trading sim. If you've passed that evaluation account, maybe it's cost you only $100 to get there, and suddenly you've got effectively $3,000 of drawdown to play with $50,000 in leverage. Now, it's important to note that when you are in this performance stage, this pro stage of playing the sim funded accounts, you still have rules, right? And those rules are there to both protect you and to maybe make things a little bit harder for you. So let's look at those rules. Like we talked about, you have drawdown. Depending on the firm, you might have a maximum loss limit on the day. You will definitely have a total maximum loss limit on the account, and you might also have a trailing drawdown which will follow your profit through the day on unrealized gains. On top of that, you have things like consistency rules, which often range between 20 and 40%, meaning no one winning day can be more than 20% of the maximum profit in that account when you go for payout, or if you're lucky, 40% with some of the firms, making it a little bit easy if you're going to have a wind rush day, as they would call it. I would just call it a good day in the market where you make some good money holding on to runners. And like I said, if you're consistent doing this, if you stick to the rules, if you trade the right amount of days with the right size, if you're not over leveraging and over risking, you will start to get payouts out the market from these prop firms. Now, normally they range between 80 and 90%. Some of these firms will let you have the first $25,000 per account completely free. So you take 100% of it, even better. And if you do that long enough with some of these firms, they will then move you to a live account where they roll your profit, or at least some of your profits, into a live funded account, just like you funding your own brokerage and trading real money in the markets. So at this point, you should understand how prop firms work, how they make their money from failing traders, and how you need to be one of the traders that trades consistently by slowing down and taking money out of the market from those traders who are losing. Trading's a zero-sum game. That's no different to playing in the market. Every time you're making money, there's a trader the other side of it losing, and that's the same with the prop firms. So where is the scam, I hear you ask? Well, there's two occasions where you hear scams in the market. Like any business, you need to do your due diligence. Trading is a business and you should treat it like that. So if you're going to spend your capital on a prop firm to take an evaluation, you need to make sure it's legitimate. These prop firms are popping up all the time, over and over again, and you want to find one that's been in the market a while that has good reviews. Now, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you my top 3 who are paying out consistently and will offer you the best product in the market. So let's give you an example of a scam and things that you need to look out for. You don't want these prop firms which are coming and going in the market very, very quickly. If they've come out of nowhere, they're probably going to go just as quick. You need to have a look at who is on the board, who's the CEO. Are they in this space? Have they come from another firm? Very, very simple things. What's their background? Is it a little bit shady? If it sounds too good to be true, if the rules are too easy, it probably is the case, because you normally get 2 things which close prop firms down. One is that they have a major cash flow issue because the rules are far too easy and traders have a higher success rate. Remember, most traders fail. If you have too many traders having a high success rate, they're going to be trying to withdraw capital from that prop firm over and over again. And if they don't have the capital there, they're going to go delinquent and they're going to go under. The second is legal issues, right? If they haven't done the correct paperwork, if they're a little bit of a dodgy firm, then they're going to get closed down. I'll give you an example of a firm that had all of these issues, and that was Fast Track Trading. It only lasted from May 2024 into November 2024. It was one of the first firms in the space to offer straight to funding accounts. It also offered a lot of leverage, a lot of drawdown, and in doing so meant a lot of traders were making a lot of money easier than they were at other firms. That meant a lot of people were putting in a lot of requests to get paid, and that cash flow disappeared, along with the CEO, who disappeared with the cash flow. So like I said, do your due diligence before taking out an evaluation with one of these prop firms. So who are prop firms good for? Is it a good idea for you? I can really split this into 2 types of traders. One, I think prop firms are absolutely fantastic for the newer trader. If you're looking to dip your toe into the market, into day trading, this is brand new for you and you don't want to risk a lot of your own capital, a prop firm is a great place to start, because unlike just doing sim trading on something like TradingView or playback trading, you actually have a little bit of risk in the market. It might be as little as $25, or $100, but at least you've got something in the market. It means something, and you're going to start to feel emotions, and emotions are what you need to control in the market, and they are also what controls the market. So I think it's great for the newer trader. It's a cheap entry model, all right? It makes that level of entry very, very cheap. Rather than funding, if you're in America, $25,000 to get around the PTT rule, or having multiple accounts with multiple brokers, you've got too much cash and exposure at risk, all right? And that is always a trouble at that point. So they're great for the newer trader. Learn your way into the market. Learn how to trade the market. Learn all those lessons cheap. And remember, if you're that newer trader and you spend $100 on that evaluation account, and you turn that evaluation account into a profitable account, and you start withdrawing $1,000 out the market a week, a month, maybe you get up to $10,000 after a few months. That is an insane return on investment. And that's what prop firms are really, really good for. The second type of trader I think prop firms are fantastic for is the experienced trader looking to compound growth and really turn minimal amount of cash exposure risk into big, big gains. What do I mean by that? You have the ability to trade multiple accounts with multiple firms, and you can use things like Replicanto as a trade copier. So you only trade one account at a time, but maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 accounts all follow that trade that you take at exactly the same time and exit at the same time. What does that mean? It means if you're having that winning day of $1,000 on that one account and you have 19 other accounts following it, it means you've just made $20,000. And you can do this with an unlimited amount of accounts, as long as that prop firm allows you for its account to be a copied account. It's really, really key you check the T&Cs in these prop firms, but most of them will allow you to do that. And what does that mean? It means very, very fast growth. If you go on a hot winning streak, you are going to compound that by the amount of accounts that you have. As promised, I'm going to show you my 3 favorite prop firms right now, and I'm going to give you the reasons why, showing you in detail why I like each one and a few nuances you need to be aware of between these prop firms. So my first firm on the list is Tradeify, and I'm going to show you the reasons why. The first thing right here is the 3 different plans. This means that they offer something for every single trader. The first plan is the advanced plan right here. Now, an advanced plan, as you can see here, has a trailing drawdown, which is run intraday. That is on unrealized gains. Now, on a 50K account, this is the most popular account, which is why I'm focusing on it. It has a $2,000 trail drawdown. Now, eating into your trail drawdown is very, very easy if you're not going to manage your trade and your risk well. What do I mean by that? If you are up $500 on a trade and you let that trade come back and knock you out break even, you now only have $1,500 left of trail drawdown. Now, if you do that same trade again, $500 up, knocks you out break even, won't make a difference. All right, will not make a difference. You're still only $500 down. It goes against the maximum point on your account. The best way to trade trailing drawdown is to use a stop that moves up with it, scalping and making that money until you pass the account or you're past the buffer if you are in a pro stage. The positives of using the advanced account is they are always very cheap to get into the market, because most people will fail trading these because they don't trade them properly using a trailing stop and mitigating that risk. So to get into the market here, $69 for a 50K account. Now, normally there is a sale on. If you want the best possible price, the link will be down below, and use code FZT. Right now, as I'm making this video, it's 35% off, but I'm not sure what that sale is going to be moving into the future. The other thing to note here is it is a one-day pass. So you can pass this in one day, very, very quick to get funded. You don't have to pass it in one day, all right? You can take as long as you want, but you can pass it in one day. The reset fee is $45. Again, very, very reasonable. And the activation fee here is $125. So it's important to understand that, all right? So effectively, you're going to pay $70 to do the account and $125 to then activate it once you pass. Now, comparing that to a growth account right now, these are the accounts which I advise most newer traders use, you will pay a little bit more upfront. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive upfront, but notice here, there is no activation fee. All right, so it's a one-time fee. You should take your time and pass these. Minimum trading days, 1 day again. So exactly the same thing. You can pass these in 1 day if you want. Again, the trailing drawdown, $2,000. But notice the big difference. It's an end of day trailing drawdown, not an intraday. All right. So wherever you closed that previous day, that's what your drawdown is versus. It's not going to follow your profit gains during the day, and it's not going to follow any unrealized gains. What does that mean? This is a much easier account to pass, and this will actually train good trading habits where you're going to let trades work. So I really, really like these accounts. Again, right now, it's 35% off these. I don't know what it's going to be in the future. That means you can get fully funded if you pass this for under $100, which is cheaper than this, isn't it? Because you have to pay an activation fee. So understanding the difference of where you're putting your capital at work for you is important. The last type of account they have is a straight to sim funded account. So this gets you straight in the phase where you're going to make money from every single trade that you take that's profitable. So you will pay a lot more on these because there's no time being wasted in doing the evaluation. You will get paid out if you have 10 days trading, but there is a 20% consistency rule. That effectively means you've got to trade for at least 5 days, all right? Because 20% consistency, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. You want to be having base hits. 20% consistency is very, very low. So this is for you. These type of accounts are for you. If you're type of person that takes a consistent amount of ticks or pips or points out the market every day. If you're like, right, I'm looking for a 20-point trade, and then I'm done for the day and I come back the next day. These will work for you. The difference is with the growth account and with the advanced account, once these get funded, these have a 35% consistency rule. So you have more leeway to let those winners work, to have those bigger days than having to have just 20%. Other than that, they're pretty much the same, all right? You're always looking at 10 trading days to pay out. That doesn't have to be 10 green days. And normally 5 of those need to be green days of $200 or more. So that covers Tradeify. This is my favorite platform right now because it offers something for everyone. Again, advanced accounts, growth accounts, straight to sim funded. My favorite accounts, what I recommend are these growth accounts. If you're a trader that likes a bit more size, obviously you can look at the 100K or 150K. And the other thing to note here as well is that Tradeify allows you to have up to 5 accounts. Those can all be linked together. They can also be linked to other prop firms. There's no issue with that. And they work with Tradeify. So all the top platforms work with Tradeify as a data provider. That's always a big positive. You want to be looking for firms that work with Tradeify. All right, they're the biggest data provider out there. Let's have a look at my second favorite prop firm now, and that is Take Profit Trader. I absolutely love Take Profit Trader. Lots of similarities to the last firm with Tradeify, but there are some key differences. So again, very heavily used. It's been in the industry a while. It has a ton of reviews here. I personally have used it as well. I really like them as a prop firm. The key differences here, very simple in that you select your size, you prove you can trade, the evaluation, then you start earning money, and then you can withdraw into your account and you can upgrade to Pro. Upgrade into Pro will mean you change your profit split from an 80-20 split to a 90-10 split. Let's have a look at some of the big differences because this is what sets Take Profit apart. The number of trading days you will need to trade is 5 days, okay? The minimum days until the first withdrawal, 0 days. Once you are over your buffer system with Take Profit Trader, you can take those profits out day one. For example, if you're trading a 50K account, your buffer is at $2,500. The moment you're above that $2,500, you can withdraw that account. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. You can keep pulling money out the market, paying yourself instantly. That differs to Tradeify. Like we said, you needed 10 days in the market. Most firms are between 5 days, some even more up to 30. So that's the big difference with Take Profit Trader. They're the only firm doing this that I know of. And that withdrawal process is instant, absolutely instant. There's also no issues with consistency, all right? So if you want to trade really big one day, you can. If you have that windfall one day, you can. They're not going to punish you for that. Remember with Tradeify, they had a 20% consistency in the straight to funded account and 35% consistency in the others. Now, I think consistency is a good thing. It's stopping you gambling. But hey, some days you get those big windfall moments. And with Take Profit Trader, it's a great firm to be at for those. If you move to the pro accounts, you have up to 3 resets. The fees for a pro account is a one-time fee. All right, everything here, one-time fee. And again, they provide live support 24 hours a day. Fairly similar, all right? 50K account right now, $170. Remember that there's no additional fees. It's a one-time fee. Again, right now, there is a sale on. I think it's 30% right now. If you use the link down below, or if you use code FLOWZONE, one word, in the checkout, it will get you the best possible price all the time. So again, very competitive to get into the market. One-time fee. Now, there are some other key things to note. This is very much like the growth account with Tradeify. There's no trailing drawdown. It's done at the end of day for the evaluation phase. However, when you move over into that funded account, you will have a trailing drawdown on unrealized gains. So you want to be locking in profits until you get past that buffer, and then you can trade it more freely again. So it's really important, again, to know the nuances and differences. Again, with Take Profit, you can have 5 accounts in this platform at this stage. Again, you can see here the different platforms. They offer Rhythmic and CQG, who is my preferred one. I love using TradingView, NinjaTrader, Tradeify. These for me work perfectly together. It means I can trade NinjaTrader on my desktop. It means I can trade on my phone on Tradeify or using TradingView for my charting system. So I really like that. And you can see some of the big differences down here from the test account. Like we talked about, drawdown end of day on the test account. Once you get to these pro funded accounts, it moves to intraday. So you need to be aware of that. That is a big difference that will catch you out if you're not aware of it. But again, fantastic firm. Very cheap entry model to get into the market. And if you do well, you can take profit out of the market every single day. The third firm is Apex. Now, this might cause some controversy. You will hear people consistently say that Apex is a scam, but I'm here telling you it definitely is not. I'm a trader that's been paid out from Apex as recently as last week. I also had some denials from Apex last week, and that was my fault. Why was it my fault? Because I miscalculated the consistency rule. Does that mean they're a scam? No, it means it's my error. In my head, I thought they had a 35% consistency rule. In fact, they had 30%. All it meant is I had to trade a little bit more and make a little bit more money. It's not a big deal. This is why I'm saying understanding the prop firms, understanding their rules is absolutely key. Now, Apex have been in the game a very long time. They probably have the biggest user base. This is the go-to firm for a lot of traders because it's very cheap to get in the game, and there's some other added benefits that I'm going to get into shortly. But as you can see here, average monthly payout over $14 million a month they're paying out to traders. Total compensation to customers since 2022, over $444 million. And in the last 90 days, over $70 million. All right, so you can see these are monster numbers here. They are not a scam. They pay out more than any other firm. You've just got to understand the rules and stick to them. Again, let's go into the products they offer. They're all very similar. So you can see you will receive 100% of the first $25,000 of profit you make per account once it's a performance account. And after that, first $25,000 per account, you get a 90% profit share split. You can have 2 payouts a month, right? Every 8 trading days, you can take a payout from Apex. Trade full size contracts in evaluation and funded. That means there's no scaling plan. You can trade as many contracts as you want. You want to be consistent with your size though. No scaling and failing by going over contract size. They're not going to punish you. It's impossible to go over the contract size allowed, all right? It would just stop you trading over contract size. There is no daily drawdown in these, all right? You have a max loss on the account and that's it. You can trade holidays. You can trade your normal size day-to-day strategy or system during news. So you can trade normally during news. There's no total cap on the amount of payouts you can take. And it's a one-step evaluation process. Again, all the real-time data, simple risk management, all the usual stuff. This is the key point. You can trade up to 20 accounts with Apex. Most firms is 3 to 5, 20 accounts. And this is when we come into this compounding gains and understanding what you're doing. So let's move down into some of the accounts so we can see what we're looking at here. All right, I'm going to focus again. They're all very similar priced. Again, they offer all the big platforms and data providers, but I'm going to focus right here on Tradeify and the 50Ks because this is what most people trade. Okay, so again, trade up to 10 contracts. Your profit goal is $3,000. Your trailing threshold is $2,500. That's more than the other firms who only offer $2,000 trailing threshold. Daily drawdown, none. Scaling plan, none. Right, absolutely none. Does it work with TradingView? Yes, just like the other two firms, it works with TradingView. Does it work with Tradeify? Yes, just like the other two firms, works with Tradeify, works on a browser, works on mobile, works on Mac. Very, very good. All three firms I'm showing you here today do the same in that case. All the licenses are provided for free. All right, so exactly the same from that standpoint. The key thing to note here is this trailing drawdown is intraday, all right? Intraday, so it follows unrealized gains. Once you pass this, you will pay, right now, it's about $125 to activate the account, all right? To activate the account, and then again, you will have trailing drawdown. That trailing drawdown will stop once you make $2,500 of profit, and then you trade it normally. So again, like I advise all traders that are gonna trade with trailing drawdown, use a stop, size down, all right? Move your stop with the profits as it gets in. You need to be in scalping mode and size down. If you're oversizing, you're going to get stuck, all right? Because you can have one big swipe up, one big move down back to break even, and you've ruined your trailing drawdown already, all right? So you need to size down, take it nice and slow. But like I said, up to 20 accounts. Now, you can trade massive size with these guys. You can trade up to $300,000 accounts, giving you a trailing threshold of $7,500. All right, so that is tons and tons of room. And again, you can have 20 of these linked. So if you know how to trade, if you can manage your risk, if you can manage your trades, if this suits your strategy, it is a fantastic firm to compound gains with. Don't listen to all the noise out there. This is the truth in the market. If you know how to trade, if you can manage your risk, if you can work the process and the boundaries that they can find you to, you can make a huge amount of money with Apex. So now you understand how prop firms work, how they make their money, and what it takes for you to be one of the profitable traders who takes money out of these prop firms. I've also shown you what to look out for with the scams and which 3 prop firms you need to think about trading with today. Don't forget, if you want to trade live with me, I trade on YouTube for free live Monday to Friday from the start of the New York session all the way into lunch. And if you want to learn more, if you want to do my course from beginner to advanced, a 20-hour course with over 40 modules, the link is down below for a one-time fee. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Trade safe.